I'm George Coates, here today speaking to Kriss Akabusi for Student Knowledge. Kriss, I thought we could start with your early life and where you started in the world. You're originally from London, aren't you?
So George, I was born in 1958. My parents are from Nigeria. They were students, and back in the 50s, lots of Africans came across from their country of origin to work over it and study at the same time. Mum and Dad sort of met each other on the boat across. My father was studying politics at the London School of Economics. My mother was studying to be a nurse. But once they both qualified, because of the system in Nigeria, part and parcel of them coming to England was that they'll go back and support the community back there, bring up the education.
Now, it's quite interesting because a little bit later on in your life, you revisited Nigeria, didn't you? And I'm sure I read somewhere that that's where you changed your name.
Yeah, well, no, actually, what happened to me changing my name was I was living in a children's home. I was living in corporate care from 1967 to 1975. And when I joined the army, And when I joined the army, I changed my name because for me, the name Kriss Akabusi, so I'm known as Kriss Akabusi. All my sporting life was Kriss Akabusi, but my African name is Kriss Uche Chukwu Duru Akabusi. Now, George, you're nodding. Have a go at saying it. Okie dokie. So, my name Kriss is one of those things, you're closer to the age that I was then. When you're a young man, it's really important to be part and parcel of the group. And Kriss was too different. It was just too out there. And I was joining the army. The army was then a male-orientated society. And I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to prove myself. And Kriss at that time was synonymous with, I don't want to say being a loser, but I was a bit of a naughty kid at school, laughed and joked, flicked pellets, always got the cane, excluded. And I wanted to change that. I wanted to be someone different, a little bit more serious about life, still have a good old laugh, but be focused on achieving a career. And so the change from Kriss to Kriss was synonymous with saying, okay, childish things have gone away, I'm now going to become a man.
So moving on into your career with the military, how did you go into that? Did you think, right, this is it, this is going to be my career? I'm just going to be in the army.
When I joined the army from the children's home, the army really was about safety and security and a place to belong. And for me, joining the army was about the roof over their head and 3 school meals a day and the guarantee wearing awesome clothes.
And then how did athletics tie into that?
I'm a real big believer in mentorship and coaching, and all of us need someone to look into. I always say that top achievers don't look up to role models, they look into role models. They find people that they like something, and then they're prepared to do the work to find out about that person. For me, that's the person was Sergeant Mackenzie. Sergeant Mackenzie, I met him when I joined the army. He was a middle manager in corporate world, but he was an athletic officer. He'd represented the army, and he took a liking to me. He recognised that when you have like long weekends, exeats, or when you have 2 or 3 weeks holiday, most of the time I'll be on camp. I won't go home. And so he got into my background. He started inviting me around his home, started doing some babysitting. Saw that in the basic training I was quite fit. I was keeping up with water sprinting. I started talking about sport, trained me for all that summer. And I'll tell you what, the great thing, I joined the army in September. By April, May, I was running all the junior events and I was winning events. And the great thing was that he was then putting my name up on orders. And I was, for the very first time in my life, I was getting recognition and being rewarded for doing the good things, not flicking pellets and getting the cane, but actually for doing good things. And so with Sergeant Mackenzie as a role model, and with him really taking some time out to invest in me, and then the positive affirmation I was getting from all people around me, I was on a fast track to success.
Now, your sporting achievements, how does the Olympics compare to that iconic moment of Tokyo 1991?
The World Championship gold medal is it's my defining moment. because it's the world gold medal for Team GB, the British team, who became champions of the world. But what we had that the other teams didn't have is we had a camaraderie, a friendship one with another, and we were quite clearly good athletes, prepared to work for one another, and we dared to do something different. And often in life, what holds people back is that they are scared to do things new, to do things different. Ego can get in the way. I mean, I like to tease Roger and say that he's got a big ego, but he was able to coordinate that for us. And so Roger, who's was our best athlete, should have run the last leg, ran the first leg for us to give us an opportunity to be in the contention. Dave Redmond, who was our only other quarter miler, he ran our second leg. And then John Regis, great big John Regis, if you see him, boom, he's like Superman, you know, great big two chests. He ran the third leg and I ran the last leg. And the whole idea was to be in contention with the Americans. And hitherto, over the last 50 years, that never happened. Well, as I said, the rest is history. Roger, boom, ran a brilliant leg. Derek Redmond, unbelievable, hung on for dear life. John Regis, a 200 metre runner, who I think was the most significant leg. If you do get a chance to see the VTR, the video of it, John Regis is a 200 metre runner. He doesn't run 400 that sort of level. And he ran to plan, kept on the jockstrap of the Americans, handed the baton over to me. I tracked the world champion, crossed that line, everyone's going mad. So my point there is that you need some good friends, technically proficient, 100% prepared to work to a plan and able to subordinate an ego. And often teams and businesses fail because of the ego element. Teamwork is the essence of everything. You know, when I'm speaking to audiences, you know, I've developed a new sort of catchphrase for myself, which is that the dream works if the team works. And the whole idea around that is that for anything to be achieved, you need a great big a dream, you need a phenomenal vision. But the vision itself is only as good as the people that come around it to make it happen. For me, my sort of glorious games was Los Angeles, because like most kids, I was in love with America. And to go to America, Cowboys and Indians, Disneyland, I mean, I was 24, it was like, wow, it's brilliant. By 1992, I was much more matter of fact, much more business-like about the Olympic Games. And I probably wouldn't have been involved with the paraphernalia. I think, you know, for even London, if London had been my third games, I wouldn't have got involved with all the sideshows. Because I was professional, I was there to do a business, I wanted to win my medal, get out of the camp, get ready for the Grand Prix circuit. You know, it's much more business. Whereas my first games, it was Disneyland, it was Mickey Mouse, it was Superman. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it depends where you are on your journey. The more experienced athletes, they'll be bowing out and they'll go, wow, fantastic. I bowed out at the London Games. I do think that there will be a challenge for the guys first timers because they won't quite experience anything like it.